let's now turn our attention to another statement from President Donald Trump that kind of got swept under the rug because of all the Epstein stuff and the craziness that went on this weekend. But in an interview with Daily Caller's Reagan Reese last week, Trump stated that he is, quote, very satisfied with the FBI's investigation into the assassination attempt against him that occurred in Butler, Pennsylvania last year. Almost exactly a year ago, if memory serves.
Yeah, the 13th.
Yeah, so we're coming up on the almost 1 year anniversary where the former president, soon to be future president of the United States, was shot in the head on national television. We never really got answers on how the lone teenage gunman with no clear motive managed to get up onto a roof past Secret Service and the local police department and get a clear shot off at Donald Trump himself, clipping his ear and killing a guy standing behind him. No answers on that. No
Firefighter, by the way.
Yeah, firefighter. Corey Compertor was a quality man, a good American father. Tragic loss. How he got up there, how he pulled all this off, why he had 3 encrypted phones, why he had bank accounts linked to foreign countries. We have no answers on that. And for quite a while, Trump indicated he was less than satisfied with what the Secret Service was telling him. But now, all of a sudden, out of the blue, he says this headline that the Daily Caller reported on and says he is satisfied, very satisfied, as a matter of fact. And then the FBI, led by Deputy Director Dan Bongino, has consistently asserted that no hidden conspiracy or deeper plot was uncovered in the Butler incident. In March, Bongino told Fox News, quote, in some of these cases, the there you're looking for is not there, emphasizing that there has not been anything substantial, and if there had been, he would have told us. And Press Secretary Carolyn Levitt also said that in May, to this same reporter from the Daily Caller. We have a clip on that, if we can roll that real quick.
Thanks, Carolyn. Last week, the president told Brett Baer that he trusts his people, but thinks that the official narrative on his assassination attempts are, quote, a little bit odd. FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino said days later that there's no conspiracy to find, and as he put it, quote, the there that you're looking for is not there. My question is the president personally satisfied with the investigations into the attempts on his life? And does he agree with Deputy FBI Director, or does he think there's more to it?
Well, in the lead up to your question, you answered your own question with the president's own words, and I'll leave it at that.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and again, this was back in May, before Trump said he was very satisfied, when it was early on and he was still saying maybe he was a little bit dissatisfied. But she completely punts on the question and just said, oh, I'll defer you back to what the president said and, refer to Dan Bongino saying, there's no there. Everything is open and shut.
You know what he's acting like? He's acting like somebody who's captive. Like we're like one nation under captive. That's what we should be called. Because like this guy, like, is he like, what has he done in terms of like the normal things that somebody would do in this position? Nothing. Like, would you want to know who tried to kill you? Yeah. And he said there's nothing crazy or nothing conspiratorial.
How do you know he doesn't know?
Because he's saying this. He's saying he's very satisfied with they don't know anything.
But you don't know anything, Brandon.
Yeah, so what's the upside in not saying what happened?
How do you know what satisfied him?
Because
not all documents are public. He gets a briefing every Monday that nobody knows about. He has the top clearance in the U.S. government. Like, how do you know he doesn't have the files and he's satisfied? And he was the one being shot, all right? It wasn't you being shot. It wasn't anyone else being shot. If he got a one-on-one private report of exactly what happened and he read it and he was satisfied, that's enough.
And do you think that the guy who they say shot him is the one who actually shot him?
That's for him to know.
No, I'm asking you. Do you think that's the case?
It's not for me to know. They didn't kill him.
No, what does your gut tell you, though? Did your gut tell you that teenager who just scampered up onto the roof with a rickety old gun got that shot off?
It's not the most likely thing.
Yeah, so I don't think so either. And I think that like every single small piece of evidence that we've heard about this kid is weird, and we don't know anything about it. And we're entitled to know that shit because we fucking pay for it.
We're not entitled.
Yeah, we do.
We
pay for that shit.
All right.
We pay for the Secret Service, and we pay for the president to do what he does and operate the way he operates, and we pay for all the bullshit extra technology that we have that gets thrown away or sent to Ukraine or sent to Israel. So yeah, we are entitled to know about it.
Ooh, Humberto, chat is pissed at you right now, my friend.
Yeah,
I know. But hey, that like the top of it, like the headline here is like he is satisfied. All right. Like we
don't care. We're not satisfied.
No, well, you're not satisfied.
We voted for him. We pay for all this shit.
We can't question if he's satisfied. All right.
No, but the fact that he's saying he's satisfied makes me think he's being held captive. And they said the people who did that to him are saying, "Yeah, you make any waves about this, we're going to do it again."
Brandon, that's a jump.
Well, it doesn't strike you as a jump for him to say he's satisfied?
I agree with the point Humberto is making, at least, initially, of he says he's satisfied, but his satisfaction is not qualified by anything. He's not saying I'm satisfied and the current narrative is exactly what happened. He's just saying what he's been shown, what he's been told has satisfied him. So maybe there was credibility, he's some sort of foreign actor or whatever. I don't know. The one thing that has always been a weird hang up for me on this story is that if Thomas Matthew Crooks was a patsy that went up there just to get shot, and they actually had somebody like a real trained shooter who was trying to take out Trump, why'd they miss?
Send a message.
But that's Brandon. You cannot pull off, clip your ear when you rotate your head at the exact moment. And I know you're going to get into bullets you can remote control, but like the astronomical number of things that have to go right in order for that to send a message and not just take the guy's head off. And to all you liberals out there who are going to try to say, no, Donald Trump just took a dive and cut himself with a hidden razor blade or some teleprompter glass like we're watching friggin' WWE over here. That's not what happened either, because then explain why Corey Compertor, who was standing right behind him, is dead. But you cannot try to make the argument that it was to send a warning. We figured we, clip his head, graze his ear, millimeters in the opposite direction, and the guy's dead. That's not a message. You just killed him.
I don't think that's the case either. I agree with what you're saying ultimately, even though we do have bullets that could be controlled remotely. But no, I think he started acting incredibly different after this happened, and it hasn't been the same since. Like, right after that happens, makes J.D. Vance the vice president, the technocrat guy. Elon Musk starts supporting him right away. All the tech pros get behind him right away in unison. Just a few days later, Anthony Blinken comes out and says, yeah, Iran's just a few weeks away from launching a nuclear weapon. And then there's all these weird things, like things start going in like a much different direction they were going before he got shot. So I'm not saying I know the answer. I don't know the answer, but I know that things don't add up. And I get the narrative of him not wanting to disclose everything because maybe it's not strategically advantageous to act like he knows everything about it or for the public to know about it. But with the way he's acting inconsistently and the fear that he's showing about certain things, I don't feel confident in what we're being told about this at all, and I want to know who tried to take him out. Somebody tried to take him out.
Let's balance this out, Brandon. I think when it comes to the Epstein stuff, I think we're all entitled to know what's going on. All right? I feel absolutely entitled to know what's going on. Everyone should know what's going on. We should stop it, get to the bottom of it, because that makes us a worse society. We're rotten to the core. If that
society where our kids could be grabbed off the ground in a van and served up to a prime minister.
I absolutely agree, Brandon, with you that we're entitled to those answers. All right. When it comes to something a crime that was committed against him in particular, all right, we had bystanders that were shot, and it's very sad. Fireman, father of 3, father of 4, very sad, extremely sad. But the crime was committed against him.
No, see, this is the problem with our country. We have no sense of ownership. Like, we own his ass. We own every single thing he touches in that position. We own every aspect of the Secret Service, the people. We pay for all that shit. So, yeah, we are entitled to know about it.
But everyone, even if you use a public system, whatever it is, if you use an attorney, whatever, the justice system has some levels of privacy when it comes to you being the victim, all right? So when you're the victim of a crime...
America was the victim.
But you have a level of privacy, Brandon.
How do you know we don't have rats in the house, too, or people that can't be trusted, like that Cheetah lady? Nothing even ever happened to her. So if they actually got him... Yeah, and I think she got a good job now after. So we don't know who the snakes are in there. We don't know who could be trusted. I
think we have a good idea who they are.
Yeah? How?
I don't know. Just...
What, suspicions?
Suspicions.
I mean, again, if we try to split the difference here and... Whether we're talking about everything is exactly as we've been told versus
when has that ever been the case?
There was a second shooter on the water tower with remote control bullets sending a warning to Trump about disclosing whatever. There is a possibility here right down the middle that Thomas Matthew Crooks, a weird fringe guy, was contacted by the same people who set all these things up all the time, whether it's, MK Ultra stuff or, the intelligence agencies that manage to get their fingers into these people somehow always have them on their radar and never do anything about it, possibly unleashing them. basically tell this wacko, hey, you're going to be acting alone, but we'll give you a 10-minute window where this roof is going to be open. Don't miss.
Yeah, he got those calls from DC.
Yeah, he was getting calls on one of his 3 encrypted phones, I think.
Yeah.
And they say, okay, here's your window. We'll make sure you get up there. You hate the president as much as we do. Take the shot. And then he gets up there. He misses. And it's like, well, great. I guess there goes that plan. Let's wash our hands of this.
And there were 3 different guns being fired, too.
Where's the official public narrative on this?
What do you mean?
What is the official...
The official public narrative is that it was just...
is this a statement from the White House?
It was a basic blank gap in security where he managed to climb up onto the roof and take the shot without anybody noticing because they were staging out of the building below and nobody had secured the roof.
All right,
there's never been an official explanation for why.
There's never been an official explanation.
No, actually no, there was. I take that back. The explanation was that the roof was too steep for anyone to safely stand on.
That was an official.
That was a joke. No, that was the official declaration. That the reason they did not have someone permanently staged up there, but rather had secured it and then moved on, was because they felt it was too pitched to have someone stand up there. Which the roof is a gentle slope. Like you could put.
That's like an insulting your intelligence answer, like the way that Trump answered the Epstein thing. Like that roof was like flatter than the roof that the actual snipers were on. So that's obviously a bullshit answer.
All right,
but it's like literally the best place in the area to shoot him from. So
yeah, the only place to shoot him from, aside from that water tower that's much further away, that kind of looked like it might have had somebody up on top of it, but we never bothered to address that again. But the fact that they just never bothered to secure it,
and then
that seems almost a deliberate gap, and then they hosed down all the evidence, seem to have completely whitewashed everything that this kid had in his history. We've never heard any more about it. He just goes down as some weird lone gunman.
That's why I originally wanted to work for government, because you could just do whatever you want.
All right, all right, Brandon, let's put things in 3 boxes, all right? Public narrative, ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like, nobody believes the public narrative.
Yeah.
The second thing is what actually happened, and the jury's out on that one. You have your theories. I have my theories of what actually happened. I don't know what actually happened. Like, who he was. We can talk all day about what we think it happened, all right? And then the true narrative that was told to a president. Like, the thing is, Brandon, if there's something there that he's satisfied with that will put him at risk again, like, that's not good. You know what I mean?
And this also neglects the angle that came out in the weeks right after.
I like the guy a lot.
Because you remember what they tried to tell us, like maybe 2-3 weeks after the shooting? It was Iran.
Yeah,
there are Iranian sleeper cells that were detected entering the United States, and they had plans to kill Trump, and Crooks's encrypted phones had phone calls from the Middle East.
So it makes me wonder if Israel had shit to do with this, because a few days after you get the thing with them saying that, oh yeah, like that week, Blinken comes out and says, yeah, Iran's 2 weeks away from having a nuclear weapon. So you're going to simultaneously pin it on Israel, and then, simultaneously pin it on Iran, and then a few days after saying that Iran is about to have a nuclear weapon, so obviously prompting the action to go ahead and attack Iran. And J.D. Vance, like that week too, though, he's like, hey, my name's J.D. Vance, nice to meet you. We need to bomb Iran. And then, everything started going in that direction ever since then. And then Iran has that video where like the drone is attacking Trump or something like that. So I don't know.
The narrative did shift pretty heavily towards Iranian gunmen.
One thing I won't change my opinion on, him being alive is a miracle, and I think we witness a miracle live on CNN, who was the first Trump
I wish you would start taking advantage of it.
No, Brandon, like I'm 100% for sure they're gonna call me crazy. That was a miracle we witnessed that day.
And he's spitting in God's face now.
He's alive for a reason.
And he's spitting in God's face right now.
I wouldn't go as far, Brandon.
I mean, enabling child sex trafficking is pretty bad.
You'd like to think that Trump was going to use his lease on life, because he won the election with a clear mandate from people, the people of the United States.
Take a wrecking ball.
And then before that, he won the mandate of heaven by surviving an assassin's bullet in the way he did. If that's not your wake-up call to start making some changes and like actually trying to take advantage of the chance you've been given, I don't know what is. But again, so many of the things, whether it's Epstein files or mass deportations or the way he's trying to fix all the economic problems and the tariffs and everything, they're delivered, but like a fifth of what was promised. And I know it's only 6 months, but we've seen how long this time goes, where it's like, oh, give him a couple years. He's only got 3.5 left.
Right.
he promised he was going to hit the ground running and deliver all these things day one, which he hasn't.
Nope.
Those day one promises, so many of them went unfulfilled or halfway delivered, or don't worry, they're in progress. And I see you guys in the chat right now, the ones who are coming to Trump's defense saying, give him time. He's playing chess. He's moving pieces around. He's wheeling and dealing. Eventually you have to start producing results, or you're just a talker. And particularly on subjects where it's the sexual abuse of children or an attempt on your life, you'd like to see a little bit more passion and urgency for getting results delivered there. But speaking of,
he's much better than Kamala.
Yeah, that's true.
1,000 times.
Whatever
better.
happens, we can all agree way better than Kamala Harris.
Much better than most of the Republican Party.
Not better than JFK or Jackson.
Jackson?
Andrew Jackson.
Well, unfortunately, we can't quite turn the clock back far enough to have another Jackson administration. But Trump does have that framed portrait of him.
So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.